Disney's Pixar's Toy Story 5 is the newest sequel in the Toy Story franchise, which I cried so much watching this film from start to finish, which a lot of people are wondering if this movie is actually worth watching. And after seeing it for myself, I have a lot to say. So in today's video, let me give you guys my spoiler-free review of what I think about the movie. Toy Story 5 set 2 years after the fourth film. Jessie, Woody, and Buzz face their biggest challenge yet, the digital age. Their roles are threatened when Bonnie is gifted a lily pad, an iPad-like tablet that captures her attention and pits the gang against modern technology. What I love most about Toy Story 5 is the story they chose to tell. The movie explores the idea of toys versus technology, showing how times have changed and how many kids today spend more time with tablets, phones, and video games than with traditional toys. It's a very relatable theme that reflects the world we live in now. What makes it work so well is that the film doesn't just treat technology as the villain. Instead, it asks an important question: what happens to toys when children's interests begin to change? That emotional conflict gives Woody, Buzz, Jessie, and the rest of the gang some of their most heartfelt moments in the entire franchise. As someone who grew up watching these characters, this story hit me on an emotional level. It reminded me why these movies have always connected with audience of all ages, delivering a powerful message about friendship, change, and growing up. Another thing I absolutely loved about Toy Story 5 was Jessie finally getting the spotlight she deserves. For the first time in the franchise, she feels like the true heart of the story, and her emotional journey was honestly one of the strongest parts of the movie. Ever since Toy Story 2, we have known that Jessie carries a lot of emotional pain from being abandoned by Emily. It's one of the saddest moments in the entire franchise, and Toy Story 5 does an incredible job revisiting that trauma while showing just how much Jessie has grown over the years. As Bonnie begins to drift away from her toys and spend more time with technology, Jessie finds herself questioning her purpose once again. This eventually leads her back to the farm where her story first began, forcing her to confront memories she has been carrying for years. What really hit me emotionally was when Jessie discovers the time capsule and learns that Emily never truly forgot about her. Finding out that Emily named her own daughter Jessie was such a beautiful moment because it gave Jessie the closure she had been searching for her entire life. It shows that even though Emily moved on and grew up, the memories and love she had for Jessie never disappeared. For me, that was one of the most emotional scenes in the entire film, and it perfectly captures what Toy Story has always been about: the lasting impact that toys have on our lives even long after childhood ends. Another thing that deserves praise is the animation. Pixar continues to push the boundaries of what animated films can look like, and Toy Story 5 is easily one of the best looking entries in the franchise. The lighting, environments, the character expressions are incredibly detailed, making both the emotional and action-packed moments feel even more impactful. The voice cast also does a fantastic job bringing these beloved characters back to life. The performances from the returning cast help make the emotional moments land, especially during Jessie's journey, and it felt great spending time with these characters again after all these years. Being said, the movie isn't perfect. At times, Toy Story 5 feels like it has a lot of different storylines competing for attention. Between the toys versus technology theme, Jessie's personal journey, Woody and Buzz roles in the story and the introduction of new characters, some plot points don't get as much development as they probably deserve. Overall, Toy Story 5 is an emotional, heartfelt, and surprisingly mature continuation of the franchise. It tells a story that feels relevant to today's generation while staying true to the themes that have always made it very special. Even with a few flaws, this is a sequel that reminds me why I fell in love with these characters in the first place. If I were to rate this movie, I would probably give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's an emotional, well told continuation of the franchise that really hits the heart, especially with Jesse's story and the themes about growing up and change. Even though it has a few flaws, it still captures everything that made Toy Story so special. If you are a longtime Toy Story fan, comment down below to share what are your thoughts and your opinions on Toy Story 5. Thank you once again for watching. Make sure to follow me on my social media at ND4Films for more content like this. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, to infinity and beyond.